50 plus tips and tricks for repo. If you haven't already, you can fix your visual settings by turning off all these filters and lowering pixelation. The carts and extracts have cushioning on the bottom so you can throw items on them and they won't take damage no matter how hard you throw them. They will, however, take damage from jumping on them and enemies hitting them. You can store shop items in your inventory by holding an item and pressing 1, 2, or 3 respectively for each slot. Valuables and upgrades cannot be stored. Most enemies drop pretty good cash when you kill them if you want an extra source of money. The orb they drop will be invincible for a second, but it will change to a darker red or pink color, meaning it's now very fragile. It's also good to know that when you grab a valuable that hasn't been touched, it will be invincible for about half a second. This is good to know specifically with glass objects and diamonds, so quickly pull them off the shelf and then be careful, versus slowly moving it is actually more dangerous. Sprint regenerates relatively slowly and you're gonna need it, especially late game on your way back to the truck, so make sure to save it until you need it to run away from enemies. There are 3 ways to revive a teammate. First is place them in the extract when you exfil and they will come back with 1 HP. Second is to revive them at the end by bringing them back to the truck, and then third, you don't have to bring them back as they will respawn when you leave the level, but they will have 1 HP. You gain 25 HP when you get back to the truck after completing all exfils. For this reason, you should try to revive your teammates in the level so that they get 25 HP from the truck, whether it's with the actual truck or with an extraction. You can share health between teammates by holding the back of their health bar, but why I specifically mention this is because you should share your health with someone before consuming a full health pack to maximize the health pack. If you and another teammate are at 50 HP, one shares their HP to the other and then consumes 1 full health pack instead of buying 2 50 health packs. If you don't have enough strength to lift an object, you can place them right against the cart, hold right click and roll the item in. Don't buy the extraction tracker, instead listen for the extraction ping, you will hear it as you get closer. This is what it sounds like. Minimap will show you loot, items, and dead teammates. If you need help finding items, make sure to check your minimap. Also, all of these will only be pinged once a player has seen them. It automatically pings for everyone. Also, the minimap gives you routes to extractions and getting back to the truck at the end. Monsters will spawn depending on the level you are on. Here's a full list of the monsters and their associated levels, along with which ones will spawn. There's a 5% chance a level 3 monster can be replaced with multiple lower level enemies as follows. Monsters remain idle for some time at the start of the match or until you get close enough to wake them up. If a monster gets far enough or doesn't see you for about a minute, it will despawn. Monsters can despawn if they are further than 20 units away from all players for 20 to 40 seconds, 20 units usually being 2 rooms away. Monsters will respawn depending on how long you've been in the match. Here is a table that shows the respawn times associated with how long you've been in the match. After 50 minutes, monsters will respawn instantly. Monsters killed will multiply the respawn timer by 3, and monsters will always respawn as the same pool as when you entered. Once you are ready to exfil yourself from the level, monsters will instantly respawn and have a 1-second respawn timer. They will path toward the truck for 12 seconds, then they will start pathing to any room with a player every 3 seconds. Basically, get out ASAP or be prepared to fight. Try to be quiet as being noisy will decrease respawn times, so items such as animal crate, piano, and saw you want to be careful with. Valuables do spawn randomly, but it's helpful to know that they will never spawn in an extraction room, so don't waste your time looking. Items can spawn in secret locations such as on a balcony or a bridge. Use teammates to help you reach hard to reach places, or drones and upgrades also. All shop items will respawn in the truck except for consumed upgrades and any type of throwable explosive such as a grenade, stun, and mine. If charged and doesn't explode, it will respawn. Also, any carts you buy or the one you start with will also respawn. Now let's get into some of the shop items, first with the Indestructible Drone. This basically makes the item That was weird. But yeah, it is a very OP drone, arguably the best shop item. You can move things a lot faster and don't have to worry about losing value. Helps save money and time. All of the drones, guns, and melee weapons have a charge meter. If you want to double the life of something when you are out and about, try out the recharge drone. It's a pretty meta combo to run, Indestructible Drone and recharge drone, so you don't have to go back to the truck. Tranq Gun stuns enemies for 15 seconds, making it easy to pick them up or do damage as you wish. You have 3 shots on this before needing a recharge. Currently there is a bug where you do tap it with the recharge drone for a second and it has unlimited ammo. This won't count as a tip since it will likely eventually get patched. Health upgrade is obviously a buy, but mostly just to get over 100 HP. There are a few ways you can die instantly, but there are a lot of enemies with an attack damage of 50 or 100, so it's very useful to get over that threshold. Specifically, one Huntsman shot deals 100 damage. Another bug with health packs, hold them in the truck and spam E when it's about to leave and you can replenish health at no cost. Again, this is another bug that will likely get patched. Strength is very useful not only for lifting heavy valuables that may require 2 people, but also for picking up enemies. We will go over more of that in the monsters section, but definitely prioritize buying some strength. Also, skill upgrades will remain with you throughout the entire run, even if you die, so good to buy these early since you cannot lose them. The Tumble launch upgrade is something I was sleeping on. It is quite useful for getting around and using less stamina. I wouldn't really recommend getting it with the intent of using it for attacking monsters, as it still does 15 damage as the normal Tumble launch, and even when you land it, you will likely take damage. I don't think the roll drone is a great buy, as I feel other options are better, but it does have some good uses. You can use this to get back to the truck a lot quicker. You can also attach it to the inflatable hammer and you are basically a walking explosive. For those who don't know, when attached to enemies, they roll away from you. Everything else it attaches to will roll towards you. Most of you probably already know about this, but there is a secret shop in the shop. Just find the panel that opens. Feather and low gravity drones are extremely useful for large items, especially when also combined with the Indestructible Drone. You can attach drones to enemies, but they do drain fast, so better to save for items. The crystals fill up the charge meter in the truck on the right side. Every crystal equals essentially 1 full charge. Bat is one of the best weapons. It will send enemies flying until they hit a surface. Also not too heavy, so one of the easier weapons to swing. When attacking enemies with a weapon such as the bat, try to hit them downward so they take damage when they bounce off the ground and again when they land. Sledge doesn't have as much knockback but deals 150 damage per hit, so very strong and will still stun enemies if they don't die from one hit. If you want to see a video where I go over every shop item, I have that on my channel and I will put it in the description. While you are down there, make sure to please like the video and subscribe, as this video did take a while. Also, we are on the road to 15k subs, so appreciate all of you who help us get there. Valuables can and should be used as weapons. Small weapons will stun and do good damage to small enemies. Bigger enemies may need a medium or even large sized valuable to do good damage and stun. This clown blows up when you click its nose 3 times. It does up to 250 damage plus whatever physics damage is taken. Very good for hitting enemies and as a bomb. There are 2 little hacks to help with the music box. One is to counter by turning your mouse the other way. The other is flipping the box upside down, then holding it close to the ground. By doing this, it will no longer open and start spinning unless you lift it too high. You can use this staff as a weapon. Even better when combined with the Indestructible Drone, just smack the head against something and it will turn on for a few seconds. Now we'll move into specific monster tips. First one is knowing the strength thresholds. Once you reach a certain amount of strength upgrades, you will be able to pick up certain monsters. Here are the numbers on screen. As you see, some require 0 like gnomes and skulls, while once you have 13 strength, you can pick up basically everything including Trudge. When you do grab an enemy, there is a timer that will make you break grip. This will cause the monster to stabilize and be able to attack you. To prevent this, let go after every slam and re-grab. Then you're going to want to slam them again or toss them up over and over again. If they're stunned or tranquilized, you don't have to worry about it. This function will soon change in the next update with the new explosive one, which if you want to learn more about that, make sure to subscribe and I'll talk about it when it arrives. The best way to avoid enemies is to not be seen. Hiding in small places is a great way to do this. At worst, try to go into ragdoll mode with Q and you're still very well hidden. Even though you are hard to see, if an enemy touches you or you touch an enemy, they will detect it and react, so be careful. With enemies that can hear like Huntsman, you can crouch walk around and should if he is about to run into you. Walking, sprinting, speaking will all make noise and he will hear you. Also, sometimes if you're crouch walking and then try to stand up, it will still make a noise. It seems like your momentum still carries you and you take an extra step while uncrouched and that makes a noise. Ducks are pretty easy to deal with as they will always go to where your crosshair is. You can use this to your advantage by getting them to die in the extraction, in a toilet, then flushing it, a cauldron, or even falling off the map. Robe and Headman will speed up when you see them, so try to avoid looking at them and know that you can outwalk them. You can use the edge of your screen to keep an eye on them. The Beamer is very easy to counter as he only has 2 attacks. He will shoot his laser with respect to where your head is, so if high, he'll shoot high, if low, he'll shoot low. He will then attempt a kick attack, which you can either just pull back on or jump over. The Huntsman will fall when going downstairs. Great time to jump on him or grab him and start slamming him against the ground to do some extra damage. Or just keep tricking him to fall down the stairs. You can also bait his attack by making noise with a shop item or valuable, which you should always try to do this before attacking him. Do be careful and make sure that there is enough distance on the valuable, or he may attack you for some reason. There seems to be some detection where when holding an object that makes noise, you make the noise. There also seems to be some AoE damage, so if it's too close you might still get hit. Trudge has 500 health, it's best to try to trank and toss them into a pit, otherwise avoid dealing with them. It's not worth wasting valuables to take them out, they're just really slow, so just try to be patient. There are many ways to avoid the eyeball. You can bring up your map and guide yourself out. You can find an object to break line of sight. This can be something like a table or even a big enough valuable. You can even bring out shop items like a health pack to block line of sight. I try to put the most important tips, but again, if you want to learn more on how to deal with all 19 monsters, I have a video specifically for that I will put in the description. Jumping on enemies is a good way to deal damage when they are stunned. Scroll wheeling a valuable is another good method to deal damage. The more strength and reach you have, the better this works. You can hold an item above you and it will put you into mini mode, which helps with staying stealthy. This also works with the cart. If the alien grabs you, you can use the pocket cart to place it under yourself and prevent you from taking damage. Make sure you're grabbing the cart's handles for more strength. If you notice, the cart's either red, yellow, or green. Green meaning you're grabbing it correctly, yellow meaning you're grabbing it probably from the side, and then red means it's just not being grabbed. The extraction is dangerous, so be careful not to get caught in it. Also make sure valuables are stored all the way in or it will break them. You can also use the extraction to take out enemies as mentioned with the duck. You can activate the hit the road button and run away from the truck and it will still take you. Also, if you want to join a REPO PvP tournament, join my Discord down below as I'm hosting one this weekend. Hope you guys found this video useful, and if you want more straight to the point tips like these, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Do it or the eyeball will get you. Until next time, love ya, see ya.